Hey guys, we got another treat here. Ragnar, Milady, Captain Jack Sparrow, LSR versus the one, the only Master Bell, Grumpy, Teddy, and Clarette.
With anti-nukes, which we didn't really have. We weren't talking about anti-nukes when I grew up in the 80s and 90s, especially anti-nukes that were highly effective, right? I mean, there's a question mark.
I believe the guy talking was the creator of Total Annihilation, which is the spiritual successor to this game.
Now, today, thank goodness, I think we actually have a lot of things that can knock missiles out of the sky, but it was a necessity and then the economics. By the way, if you look at the economic escalation path, you would never.
Well, one thing I found interesting, and both teams decided to do this, and I don't know if this is how this map is supposed to play out, but you have three players all grouped up in this one little corner, and only one player over here. And then you get the same thing over here. You got three players grouped up over here, and only one player over here. So I just find that very interesting. I guess because there's this whole huge gulf or a river or something. I guess that's why. But I don't know. Maybe this back player is going to go air. Maybe this back player will try to go T2 quickly. I'm not sure. I definitely, if I had to guess, would think that Milady would go air. She's the one who put a clinic on not long ago. I'm not sure if Clarette usually goes air or not, but I guess we'll see what happens.
You would never win by building a bunch of nukes if the other person was onto you and they had anti-nukes. And I love that economic thing. So that all just came together. That was, I did a lot of talking about game design, and one of the greatest skills you can have as a game designer is obviously modeling the whole thing in your head to imagine, well, if I do this, then this will happen, and I will do this. So that whole nuke, anti-nuke gameplay just came out. I think we were worried, though, at the end that things like Commander Death, the nukes unit, so we ended up having the unit exclusion, where you could exclude a unit from the game in case someone found it really, really annoying.
They were talking about how a nuke in the game design, correct me if I'm wrong, but that a commander would not die from a nuke. A commander would get very low, but a single nuke would not kill a commander. A commander, I believe, has 3,000 health.
Things still got through, like commander napping. As you guys know, you're probably familiar with a ton of stuff. You probably remember more than I do. But a lot of experimental gameplay like that would be really risky for a traditional game design team to do. They just wouldn't do it. They would stick to this very narrow concept of design, and I'm a rule breaker. You guys don't want to hear about all the rules I've broken in my life, but I don't have a lot of boundaries. So, I lost my license when I was like 20 years old for just continuous speeding. Speed limits meant nothing to me. That's just one example. So when it came to game design, and you're in a virtual world, if you will, oh hell, if you're going to break rules, break rules. Having long-range artillery and having just the ability to have continuous economies and all the things that we did, which were rule-breaking, just felt really good, and it worked. It was like magic. It just sort of worked. I don't know. I'm off. I'm rambling. I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's all.
It's okay.
It's
We're in
awesome.
the early
It's
stages of
lasting
the match, so it's perfectly fine. It's like a filler
It's okay, I rainbow all the time.
as the players warm up. But I think we are now at the point, casters, where we can take it away with the finals.
Absolutely. So let's kick it off with the introduction of the players, as we are seeing some raiding with ticks coming in to the back line. But let's start with the East team. I'll introduce in red, Master Bell for Team Times of Nightmare. He started with Armada and a bot lab, and then to his south in orange, Teddy with his core bot lab. And then we got Claret with a core early air, and he's already got bombers out, which is very quick. And then in yellow, Grumpy, and he's Armada bot lab.
Yeah. So I'm just going to introduce the West team real quick because it looks like Pink is about to do a bombing run. We don't want to miss that. But we got Ragnar here in blue, got LSR in teal. In purple, we have Captain Jack Sparrow, and here in the top left.
I love the team play. Milady, this team always is sharing resources, and this other team too. But the communication by Milady, I think, is one reason why their team is. And this might be a guy. It probably is a guy, but a name like Milady, you think it's a lady, but I don't know. But just the communication, the sharing of the units, the sharing of the energy, the sharing of the metal, the communication. The lady says air up here, so that gives all these players plenty of time to get out anti-air bot, which is right here, for example. Or a little needle turret or whatever that is anti-air for Armada. I forgot what the Cortex one is.
We have Malady, but one thing I will say, Malady has been our classic air player for this team, but he's a little bit late on the draw here. He's getting air a little late, and he's not.
I guess it is a guy.
Going to have fighters in time to protect his team as Claret moving in here with these whirlwinds or thunders, my OTA fans, and already getting some damage done. There is just no air defense to speak of, not any Avengers or Freedom Fighters to really stop this. So very nicely done here by Pink.
Well, Milady did tell them the air is up, and Blue, I think, had one anti-air bot or something out, and LSR had absolutely nothing, as far as I could tell.
He did a good job there, Ragnar, to dodge the bombs with his construction bots, so avoided the worst of it. And that's the last bomber going down now. But yeah, interesting start. He didn't expect Malady to be on the back foot in terms of air control.
No, yeah, he was very greedy. Malady took his time trying to get his eco up first. I mean, it's understandable, but that did give Claret this opportunity to get some bombing done. However, Claret really did not get too much accomplished with that early bombing run. It wasn't like game-ending or anything. It wasn't like Malady in previous games that we've seen that just takes over the game with his bombing play. So ultimately the game will still start out pretty even. Which team do you predict is going to win? What's your prediction, Borg, in terms of which two of these teams has the better chance here?
Well, I think on what we've seen today, I think Times of Nightmare might have the edge. They've pulled out some really good plays, but then thinking about the stats of even the tournament being unbeaten, it's really hard to pick against Team Barcode. And Ragnar is the strongest rated player in this matchup as well, by quite a margin. What do you think?
So
Ragnar is the highest rated player in the game, I believe, at 52 skill rating. I thought they only went to 50, but I don't know.
So Chris, we were talking a little bit about this earlier, but the VAR team has made this rating system kind of like the chess rating system, but they call it open skill, and they rate a player's skill based on their performance in matches, and I think it's a very complicated heuristic. But we've been joking about how math tells all. That we don't even have to let these players play it out. You just look at the algorithm and let it decide. So you know, I'm going to go with the algorithm here. I'm going to let math decide which one of these teams is better. And didn't you say Barcode has the higher skill? Is that right?
Well, the average skill times of Nightmare is slightly higher,
Oh, okay.
but the Ragnar is a bit of an outlier. He brings the team up, and you know, it's whether you want to treat outliers or not in terms of statistics. Chris, what do you think? What's your take on using these sort of techniques to balance games?
Oh well, it's the right thing to be doing. You know, that sort of a system would is a natural thing to do.
But Milady with another putting on a clinic here as far as air bombing.
And you know, it's kind of like a weird thing that we were doing back in when I did Hardball 2, a baseball game.
And I'm just surprised that nobody has put up any anti-air because even though I'm a total new player, just watching the games that she's played in or he's played in. Sorry, I keep saying she. Has normally focused on air, so I would even classify him as an air player mainly.
Statistics are the result of actual data or actual play, so it's empirical, but then you can use statistics to drive actual simulations, right? So it's sort of like you can have a feedback loop that goes crazy. So I don't know if for matching and for team balancing and stuff like that. I think it's great because those numbers will continue to come in and then it'll continue to rebalance. So I don't know. I haven't thought much about it until you guys just introduced it to me in a fresh way. I mean, I was thinking about these things 20 years ago.
And a lot of times I've seen some players. Let's say you got a big group of grunts clumped up here on the front and no anti-air defense. You could just bomb that front line, and if that army is gone, then you got nothing to stop you from going clear into their base.
That's scary.
You know, it's the fantastic part of Bar is that all the conversations going on in the Discord about all aspects of the game, including that open skill, it's just so much enthusiasm to think about. You know, not just the pure gameplay, but everything around it. And people have learned a lot. So, you know, very much encourage people to check out the Discord and get involved.
Yeah. So guys, we did kind of miss Malady's bombing run here. Malady he has been owning this entire tournament with these bombing runs.